What if I told you that the ultimate blueprint for building wealth wasn't in some modern business book, but in one of the oldest books on the planet? Today, we're diving into the idea that the Bible is actually a practical, step-by-step financial manual. Let's jump right in.
Does this feel familiar? I mean, you're praying, you're fasting, you're trying to do all the right things, but your bank account just isn't getting the message. You look around, see other people succeeding, and you just have to wonder, what am I doing wrong? Did God just forget my address? Well, this explainer is going to tackle that exact feeling head-on.
So, to really get why this idea has so much weight, check out this number, over 2,300. That is how many times the Bible talks about money, wealth, and possessions. Get this, that's more than it talks about faith and prayer combined. The argument is, that's not an accident. It's a detailed system just waiting for us to follow it.
And that brings us to the core concept here. The Bible isn't just a spiritual guide. It's a financial blueprint. It's not a book of magic words to just name it and claim it, but a practical owner's manual with specific, disciplined instructions we're meant to actually follow. Now this right here, this is a total game changer. See, according to this blueprint, the promise isn't a handout of cash. It's the ability to produce it. The blessing isn't a winning lottery ticket. It's the power, the skill, and the capacity to build. And that, requires us to get in the game and participate. Okay, so the obvious question is, that's great, but where do I start if I have literally nothing? Well, this section argues that the first steps have zero to do with money. It's all about building your capability and then taking action. It's about what you can do before you even have a single dollar to your name.
Principle number 1, sharpen your blade. I mean, think about the story of Bezalel in the Old Testament. Before any wealth was handed out, what did God give him? Skill, expert-level craftsmanship. The point is that a valuable, marketable skill is a seed. It might cost you time and focus to plant it, but it doesn't cost you any money. You start with what you can do.
And this really breaks down that second principle. Faith requires action. Remember the story of the widow and the oil? It's famous for a reason. Yeah, God performed the miracle, but not until she did the hard work of going out and gathering every empty jar she could possibly find. Her preparation literally determined the size of her blessing. Effort isn't the opposite of faith. It's what faith looks like in real life.
All right, so once you're building your skills and you're taking action, the very next step is to master the resources you already have. This is all about financial discipline. It's about showing you can be faithful with the small stuff so you can be trusted with more.
So, principle 3, you have to count the cost. I mean, Jesus himself told his followers to make a budget. The Son of God said to sit down and do the math. Think about Joseph in Egypt. He didn't just pray his way through a famine. He created and implemented a nationwide 20% savings plan. If you don't know where your money is going, you don't have an income problem, you have an awareness problem.
And principle 4 is to kill your debt. Proverbs doesn't mess around. It says, the borrower is slave to the lender. Debt, according to this view, is what keeps you down. So this strategy you see here, the debt snowball, is the practical game plan to break those chains. You just attack it, one debt at a time.
So far, everything we've talked about has been about defense, getting your foundation right. Now we switch to offense. Because see, according to this framework, it's not enough to just manage your money. The expectation is that you multiply it. This next section is all about growth. And the fifth principle? It flies in the face of everything our culture screams at us about getting rich quick. It's this: gather little by little. As you can see, the biblical path to wealth isn't a lottery ticket. It's not one big lucky moment. No, it's 1,000 small, consistent, faithful decisions stacked on top of each other. It's the math of patience.
And the parable of the talents really drives this home hard. The master didn't praise the servant who played it safe and just buried the money. He called him wicked and lazy. Whoa. The expectation was crystal clear. Multiplication, not just preservation. In this model, doing nothing with what you've been given is a serious offense.
So how do you multiply wisely? Well, principle 6 sounds like it came right out of a Wall Street playbook. Diversify. Solomon, who is arguably the wisest and richest man in the Bible, said to invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8, because you just can't predict what disaster might happen. This is ancient wisdom telling us not to put all our eggs in one basket.
Look, building wealth is one thing, but keeping it, that's a whole other ballgame. This final section is all about the defensive principles, and the source frames this as a kind of financial warfare, not against people, but against all those forces, both inside and out, that can tear down everything you've worked so hard to build.
And this brings us to Principle 7, which uses this incredibly powerful metaphor: guard your walls with self-control. Just picture that for a second. Self-control isn't just some nice little virtue. It is the actual wall protecting your finances. And if that wall has holes in it, everything you build is just going to leak right out.
So what are the modern-day holes in those walls? Oh, you know them. It's the impulse buys on Amazon. It's that lifestyle inflation that happens every time you get a raise. It's the emotional spending, the forgotten subscriptions, and the huge pressure to look blessed before you actually are. Every time you say no to that stuff, you're patching up the wall.
Principle 8 is all about who you're listening to. Plain and simple. Seek wise counsel. The source makes this amazing point that your financial circle often determines your financial ceiling. I mean, if all your friends are broke and complaining, it's really hard not to soak that in. You have to find mentors who are where you want to go.
And here's the best part. This kind of counsel doesn't have to cost you a penny. There are incredible free resources out there, from financial teachers like Dave Ramsey to mentorship programs like score.org. A Wise Circle is available to you right now for free. You just have to go find it.
And the final principle, the one that holds all of this together, is integrity. As you can see here, any wealth you build on dishonest scales, by cutting corners, by cheating people, it's just a house of cards waiting to fall. But real, lasting, generational wealth, that is built on the solid rock of a good name.
So, there it is. We've walked through the entire blueprint, from developing a single skill all the way to building a legacy with integrity. Now, the focus shifts. It's no longer about instruction. It's about a personal choice.
And we come full circle, right back to this core truth. God doesn't reward wishes. He rewards obedient action on the plan He's already laid out. He gives the ability, the capacity, the power. The seed is already in your hand, but you're the one who has to put it in the ground. So that leaves us with this one last provocative thought. According to this blueprint, you're not cursed, you're not forgotten. You're just standing in front of a plan you might not have actually followed yet. The blueprint was never hidden. The only real question left is, are you going to turn the page?